More than 70 years ago, my grandfather, Kenneth Holt, stood beneath this magnificent tree on our historic Anaheim campus with a bold vision to create a school where students would be challenged to achieve academic excellence, build strong character, and graduate prepared for the world's leading universities and beyond. That vision became Fairmont Schools, now the most established private school group in Orange County, California. For decades, Fairmont students have gone on to attend top universities across the United States, a testament to the rigorous academic foundation and values that define our schools. For more than 15 years, we've partnered with schools across Asia, China, Vietnam, and Korea, helping thousands of students earn dual diplomas and pursue global university opportunities. Today, we're proud to open Fairmont International School, Vietnam, bringing the Fairmont legacy of academic excellence, innovation, and global readiness directly to this community. It is a meaningful new chapter in our journey, and one my grandfather would be incredibly proud to see.
Everyone, my name is Al McInnis. I am the superintendent of Fairmont International School, Vietnam. I'm very happy to be speaking with you today. If you do have any questions, by all means, please do enter them into the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them as we go. Can we jump to the next slide, please? So here, I want to introduce myself once again. As I said, my name is Al McInnis. I'm the superintendent. I'm here with Amy today, who's a regional head of retention, and she'll be helping us with answering some of the admissions questions and looking at some of the business side. I'll lean a little bit more heavily into the academics. Please go on. So first, a little bit about who we are as ISP. Fairmont International School of Vietnam is part of the International Schools Partnerships, which is one of the largest international schools groups in the world. We have it says over 100, we're actually over 120 schools now, well over 100,000 students with a whopping 24 plus curricula, which means we have the opportunity to draw from different people with different skill sets around the world. We have colleagues around the world as well, and we work with them in order to make sure that what we are delivering to your children, our students, is in fact steeped in effective practice, regardless of what the curriculum is. We're looking at what is best for students at all times. And we are in 20 countries around the world. I'd say we're in all continents except Antarctica. And we're excited to be joining, to be changing to Fairmont, and I'm going to get into that right now. Please move on. As I said, we are around. Let's slide back to that one because I want to make a quick connection here. We are an international school, and we are as a large partnership around the world. There's two places that are highlighted here. One is Vietnam and Thailand, which is our region, and it is a growing region. It's one of it is a very fast growing region in the world. But the connection here is to Fairmont USA, and Fairmont USA is who we are. I want to say we're partnering with, but we are becoming the sixth Fairmont campus and the first in Southeast Asia, which is an exciting time for us and for our students as we are introducing AP courses, the Common Core, the United States Common Core, Shape America, the National Arts Standards, Next Generation Science, etc. So we have a strong bond with Fairmont in the United States, and they're working with us to develop what we do and how we do it in Hanoi. Now we can jump to the next slide. And so, as we've said before, beginning in August, we're Fairmont International School, Vietnam. Please move on. All right. So some of those pieces about, because some of the questions that I have are, why Fairmont International School? What is the advantage of a Fairmont education? What do we bring that other schools might not? And as I said, we're the sixth school, but we are the first in Southeast Asia. We are moving from the Ontario Secondary School framework to the U.S. Common Core, which provides us with a great amount of flexibility for our students, a tremendous amount of opportunities for us to meet the needs of our kids, particularly as the school grows over years. And that partnership with Fairmont means there's a high degree of quality assurance, both on the executive level as well as in the classroom. You're gonna see some names here in a couple of minutes, and I'll talk about some of those partnerships and what that means for the students in the building, for your children, and how we use and leverage that partnership to meet the needs of every single child in the school. Please go on. Thank you. Okay, so that relationship between us, as I said, we're the sixth campus. Please go to the next one. And that what we do with that part, please go to the next slide. With that partnership, we have the opportunity to leverage the expertise of Fairmont and also work with Cognia. Now, Cognia is one of the accrediting bodies in the world that we work with. Some of the others you may have heard of: CIS, NIASC, WASC, and there's Cognia. Cognia is one of the largest, and it is globally recognized. What that means for your children is that the work that we're doing in the school is in fact recognized internationally. Okay, there's a degree of quality assurance from developing of whole school curriculum, developing individual units, developing individual subject areas, all the way down to lesson quality, so that we are individualizing as best as we can for the children in the building. So there's a couple of things here that, if you look at the screen, I want it to highlight. As I said, the international accreditation means that no matter what country you move to, you go to, or you're coming from, you're moving into a school that has an internationally recognized curriculum, an internationally recognized high school diploma, and high quality standards of teachers in the classroom. It brings with that a degree of internal and external review. And what that means is, and we're going to start this in the fall, in fact, we go through what's called a self-study. And what you do in that is you look at where you are in your current state of development, and you find the areas that are strong, you find the areas that you need to work on, and then you set action plans to have ongoing improvement. It's different from an inspection. A lot of you're going to hear people talk about in inspections. What an inspection is for is it provides that minimum standard. It lets you know this is where you have to meet. Congratulations, stamp, you've hit the standard. With an accreditation process and a continuing school improvement plan, there is no level. There's a standard minimum level, but there's no you've just passed, stamped, and you stop. You're always looking to continue to improve, and that is what Cognia brings to the table. Please go to the next slide. So what that means for graduation and for university applications, and it tells you that the high school diploma that the students will graduate with is recognized internationally. It means that there is a standard of assessment that tells the world and tells all universities who are looking at the applications that a grade as presented by an accredited school means it meets international standards. The Fairmont name along with that means it is well known to many universities, particularly those in North America, particularly those in America, but around the world. It also demonstrates that it tells them that there's an ongoing monitoring of our school. And again, that's that quality assurance piece. And I'm going to come back to that multiple times as I'm speaking, because it is not about one thing that we do on day 1, day 10, and then we say, great, it's done, and we move on. We're always looking to improve, because the reality is, as we learn more about the kids, we understand that we need to make adjustments to meet their needs. As our students come with different skill sets, we need to adjust and change how education meets their needs. The way that many of us grew up and learned is not the way our children learn. We have to accept that, we have to understand that, and we have to ensure that the curriculum we're delivering, the assessments that we are doing, and the way we are helping our children understand how to move into the world is no longer just about knowledge. We all have a ton of knowledge. It's on our phones. It's how we use it, how we engage with it, and how we can use it in a manner that is different from what we've done in the past. Because as they move into university, as they move into the workforce, they're going to be dealing with problems that we haven't thought of yet. And we have to give them the skills to make sure that that happens. Next slide, please. So our leadership team comes from around the world, and you're going to see some here. You see our school leadership team. And this, so you're going to, here is Miss Jessie, Miss Bien. She is our head of MOAT, our MOAT principal. Our incoming high school, our head of high school, our high school principal, Mr. Greg Aiello. He has extensive experience working with the United States Common Core, developing AP programs, and I'm excited to be working with him because he is an expert in his field. And when I, as the head of school, look to grow a team, I really try to look for people who know more than I do in that area. And so when I was searching for the right person for our newly appointed secondary principal, Greg is the right person for that job. Another person here is Tu. She is our MOAT coordinator, and she works with our bilingual program to ensure a high degree of quality in how that curriculum is being delivered also. The other people that you see here are part of the Fairmont team. Rebecca Wood is my counterpart in California. Below her are two gentlemen, John Matthews. John will be working with our teachers beginning in August, but he's already been working with them to develop some of the units and the year at a glance documents, which I'll touch on shortly. But he'll be working with our teachers to ensure, again, that degree of quality for the Fairmont name. They want that. And also to ensure that we're bringing highly effective practices for an international school into the classrooms. It's not about having just high level and great units. It's about practice in the classroom, because that's really what this is about. It's about, and I'll say it again, meeting the needs of the students at the level where they are. And what that means for your children is if they're struggling with something, they get a little additional extra support. If they're moving beyond what's happening in the classroom, they're actually provided with opportunities for extension, growth, and again, to meet their needs. Jonathan Dunn, he is a university counselor, and he's been working internationally for years. He'll be partnering with the university counselor that we have in our school to support development and support the university applications for our students. We work with an app that's called Unifrog, and we're working currently from grade 9 to grade 11 with that so that the students can begin developing their university applications, so that when the time comes for them to actually start submitting applications for universities, they're actually not building things in, they're actually starting to pull things out, right? They've been adding to their portfolio for years, and now they're curating and ensuring that what they're giving to the university tells their story. It's not just about the grades. It's about understanding what the story is and why, who they are as a learner, why they're looking to come to this university. And for us, that's the university of choice. That is our goal. It doesn't mean that the children in our school, I say children from 18 months to 18 years, but what that means for the students is that they're going to the university of their choice, the program that they want, the desired place to give them their best pathway into the future that they see is best for them. And of course, with your support. John's here to guide that. And he's been working with, as I said, he's been working with Fairmont for years, and he will be supporting that. The two ladies that you see next are other members of our academic team. Jamie Handy is in the United States, and Dr. Davia Brown is with us in Vietnam and Thailand. I was speaking with her just yesterday. We were talking about what we're doing to prepare for August. And she comes to the school from time to time. She'll be with us in August when we launch. And when we launch our new year. And she comes to the school to work with our teachers. She comes to school to work with the leadership team to, again, look at the quality of the program, to ensure that the teaching is meeting those minimum standards and going beyond. And then we have a solid plan for growth and ongoing school improvement. So it's a large team that is international. Like I said at the beginning, these are just some of the people that that I get to speak to on a regular basis to ask questions about how we continue to make education better for our students. Please go to the next slide. All right. So a little bit about, oh, sorry. Thank you very much. A little bit about some of our pathways. Now, today we're talking about what that, we'll start at the top of it, because it really is about the university of choice and the application to international universities, both in Vietnam, but international universities around the world. It says overseas, but really what that means is around the world. So the Fairmont International School High School Diploma begins building in grade 9 and goes up to grade 12, and they start gaining those credits. We are introducing AP courses in year 1 of our American program. And so we're excited that for our current grade 11s, we have, I'll talk about that in a minute, but we have a number of AP courses coming this year. Greg has a mandate to develop that program and make it stronger in very short order. When we initially started this process, we weren't sure that offering AP in year 1 in our first year using the U.S. Common Core was going to be the right path for us. We, again, hired the right person and spoke with Greg, and he said, yeah, let's do this, because this is what's best for the students. And I'll say that additionally, we listened to the kids. And because we had feedback from our students, we were able to understand that a lot of our kids wanted an AP arts program. So we brought in AP drawing in grade 11, and they're going to have 2D art in grade 12. And we're using the student feedback and, of course, the parent feedback to, again, meet the needs of our kids. So that's at the high school level. They have a very, very strong university application program with a very strong model that is recognized, again, internationally. In the middle school, from grade 6 to grade 8 for the international program, we are building a middle school that is designed to help our kids develop the skills that they need to get them ready for the rigor of high school. We are a rigorous academic school that supports our students through skill development, through an understanding of what it takes to grow as an academic and an independent learner. And that's really what middle school is for. I am aware of the time. Down in our primary school is when we set the foundation and make sure that our kids have those skills so that they can learn them in primary, develop them in middle school, and have them to use at their disposal when they get to high school. Now, our intro program, our kindergarten and pre-kindergarten program, is really about learning through play, because that is truly where the skills begin to develop, the social skills, the understanding of how to engage with others starts there. And so we begin with our youngest Huskies, and we continue to move on. Please go to the next slide. All right. So I know I want to hand this to Amy in just a couple of moments. What we're going to see here is a little bit about what we do in our intro program. We have project-based learning. We have an amazing Imaginarium in other areas where our kids can actually learn some things in some classroom and then dive into it in our Imaginarium. We have brought in phonics this year. We have a solid numeracy program. Please continue. Let's move on. Yeah. As we go into primary, like I said, the skills, the courses, the classes grow. Move on. You see in our middle school where we bring in integrated art and they get exposure to everything so that they can find their pathway. And then in high school, of course, we bring them to the university application process and AP classes. You'll see here in grade 9, it's listed right now as a foundation year. As we move through into next year, the grade 9 through 12 program will follow I'm going to refer to it as a 7 by 5 American program. But our current grade 9 program means our kids are able to be exposed to a tremendous amount to get them ready for the AP courses. And you see everything that's highlighted in yellow are the AP courses that we currently have on offer right now. Next slide, please. Okay, so we're going to talk really briefly, and then I'm going to hand it over to Amy. But the one that I want to touch on here is personalized learning. This is really what we are about. There's pathways to excellence. There's university pathways. It's obviously this is a responsive learning environment, but the one I want to talk about here is personalized learning. We do everything we can to meet the needs of every single student in our building because that's what we care about. That's our goal, and that's what we're trying to do on a daily basis. Please move on. All right. Yes, go ahead. We can jump to Amy because most of things that are listed here I've already talked about. It is about the university of choice for your children. That is what we want. They are going to get a world-class education beginning in kindergarten and going all the way to grade 12 with multilingualism built into our day-to-day operations and personalized academic support, both in class and after school, as well as obviously what we want to do is build confident students to send them into the world and do amazing things. And with that, I'd love to hand you over to Amy.
Thank you, Alan. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy. I'm the Regional Head of Retention and Country Admissions Manager for ISB Vietnam and Thailand. I'll be really quick. There are two things I want to talk to you about. The first part is about our FISV scholarship. For this school year, as we launch and we have a grand opening of the school in Vietnam, we will have a special scholarship scheme. So your child and children may be able to get up to 70% scholarship. And we have four different tracks of scholarship for your children to be able to apply. And you can see here, we are looking for excellence in academic, in arts, in sports, and in leadership. Now, after this webinar, we will be sending out an email with more details on how you will be able to support your children to apply for this scholarship. We will list all of the requirements, how to apply, when you receive the result, and our admissions team can be in contact with you directly to guide you further on. Okay, the last thing I want to mention is the process of applying to FISV. We make it a really simple and straightforward process. Now, right after this, we'll be sending our email address, our hotline, and probably also our website as well directly in the chat box for you. Just save it on your phone, on your laptop, and contact us anytime that you want. And our admissions team, they will be reaching out, give you a private consultation, and also guide you through the whole process. And actually, that's it from me. I will hand over to Vetter side for them to go on with the rest of the webinar. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。もし質問などあれば Q&A よろしくお願いします。ちょっと事前に受けている質問がありますので、そちらの方、質問振っていきますので、よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いいたします。Q&A の通訳を担当します、渡部と申します。事前にいただいていた質問から回答いただきます。まず最初の質問は、転校のプロセスについてです。子供がベトナムの他校のインターナショナルスクールの6年生に所属をしています。フェアモントスクールに転校する場合のプロセスについて教えていただきたいです。特に気になることは、入学試験や面接はありますか？ また、満たすべき学習要件、英語要件はありますか？そして、転校する生徒にも、奨学金や学費免除、割引は適用されますかという質問です。The first question is regarding the transfer process. I
Yeah.
have a child who is currently in grade 6 in another international school in Vietnam. If our family decide to transfer our child to your school, could you please explain the admissions and transfer process? Specifically, what steps are involved? Will the students be required to take an entrance assessment or attend an interview? What
Mhm.
are the academic and English language requirements for transfer students? In addition, are transfer students eligible for any scholarship or tuition fee incentives? That's the questions.
Right. Right. So students transfer, obviously, and they transfer within the city or internationally, right? I'm currently in Canada right now at our cottage. Um, and so we understand that kids and families move, and we're happy to accept students. English language should never be a barrier to entering any school, particularly at a young age. And grade 6, I'm going to include as a young age. Now, it takes time for them to develop that academic English, but we have a program that will help them to work on social English first, and then we'll develop the academic language over years. We do some assessments as the kids are coming into the school. And we have a couple that we do. One is specifically targeted at language, so we have an understanding of where we are, so we can build a language profile. We do map testing as well to get a little bit deeper on the curriculum items, but this is not as part of an explicit assessment for acceptance. This is an assessment so we can understand where the students are so we can meet their needs. You understand what I'm saying? It's not about necessarily in or out. It's about where are they now and what can we do to ensure that they're going to be successful when they do join us. Amy, I'll hand it over to you to talk a little bit more on the technical side of the documentation.
Yeah. For documentation, actually, it's also quite simple. When you bring your child to do the assessment with us, all we need would be the passport, and also probably the reports from the last 2 school years,
Sure.
and that should be enough for the first stage. And as you move forward, reaching enrollment stage, we'll be sending you a list of the document that you need to provide. But I assure you that it's not a complicated process. It shouldn't take you too long to prepare. And
Yeah,
there's another
and
question about discount and scholarship. I just answer it now, and you can add
yeah,
more later, Alan. As I
sure.
mentioned, we currently have up to 70% scholarship for excellent student, excellent talents. But we also have other discount ranging from 20 to 30% for international students, especially for Japanese students. So reach out to us, and we will have a one-on-one consultation with each of you if you want to inquire more about the discount.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to meet with anyone who has additional questions after the webinar also. I will add that we will do our best to make that process as customer service friendly as we can and make it as smooth and as easy for you. Yeah, next question, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Certainly.
こちらについての回答になります。まず、転校についてはとても、こちらではウェルカムでございます。英語に関しては、私たちの学校では、障壁になるべきではないと認識しておりまして、まず、社会的な英語、ソーシャルイングリッシュからアカデミックなイングリッシュに移行するプロセスというのをとっています。転校のプロセスの一つといたしましては、まず入学試験としての審査というよりかは、お子様がどういった英語のレベルを持っているかというのをこちらで理解するための審査になります。特にマップテストだったり、言語プロフィールを作成しての審査になります。また、書類に関しましては非常にシンプルで、提出いただきたい資料は、パスポートと過去2年の学校からのレポートになります。詳細に関しては、後ほどリストをお送りさせていただきます。そして奨学金についてですが、最大70%の奨学金がそちらも適用されます。また、特に日本人の生徒に対しては20%から30% 50% の奨学金もございます。なるべくこの過程をスムーズにするよう全力でサポートしてまいります。以上が回答です。
If if I may add one more thing on that, because I know there was that question was a little bit about English language development and the entrance tests. We have this year we have a new head of multilingualism who is one of the best professional English teachers that I've ever worked with, and I've worked with her in a couple of schools now. What she'll be bringing to the table for the entire school, not just the high school, not just the middle school, not just the primary school, for the entire school is a vision of learning that is truly, truly putting the child at the center and absolutely is focused on their language development with key checkpoints along the way. So parents are informed of what A, the development looks like, B, the areas that we need to follow up on, and C, how the parents can support at home and a clear outline of what's going on in the building. I'm tremendously excited about what's going to happen this year with our multilingualism. I want to add that the additional support is for all subject areas. So we're adding in additional support for ECAs, extracurricular activities that will be academically driven after school, both for support and for extension opportunities.
Thank you for adding.
Sure.
こちらに、はい、他に付け加えたいポイントといたしましては、学校での英語教育に関してです。今年から私が今まで出会った中で最も素晴らしい英語の先生を、英語の教師を受け入れました。で、その際には、新しい英語の取り組みというのを学校全体に設けております。特にこの新しい取り組みでは、学生を特にセンターにした英語の教育でして、まずどういったこれから、どういった英語の発展ができるのか、またどういったサポートを教師や両親ができるのかといったサポートを詳しく詳細化できるような英語のプログラムを取り入れていますとのことです。以上です。
ありがとうございました。ちょっと次のセミナーの時間になりましたので、以上で、フェアモントインターナショナルスクールさんのセミナーを終了いたします。